being negotiated. They are, some people would call it extortion. I don't know if it is. Hey, yo, listen, we're going to put your name in the media. You're going to go viral. You're going to have a weird case if you don't pay us. Some people are paying. A lot of people are paying. And some people have paid. But here's the thing with paying. The moment you pay one, the lawyer goes find 5 other chicks that you were, I don't know, throwing some wild parties in the 90s with. Go find other 5 chicks at the party. And they say, all right, well, you paid her. Nigga, you fucked me too. What's up? I need my check too. So after a while, you got to cut it off. You got to cut off the gravy chain. So essentially what I'm saying is that definitely hip hop is in a Me Too era. So this is the second wave. The first wave was 2017. Or we call the weird case era. We'll call it as Kendrick like to call it. This is a weird case era. Except, I'm not gonna lie, they're hitting a lot of these guys continually. Like we see, Diddy's on his 26th or 27th lawsuit. Now, of course, he settled one with Cassie. He's not gonna sell the rest. Reputation's already burned up in flames, and he's also incarcerated. Now, I want to be very fair and factual. Most of these cases we're talking about, they have no grounds for any criminal proceeding, right? And actually, some of these cases, the police have even looked into it and said, shit there. But it doesn't stop the headline from running to have people feel whatever type of way. Now, I've heard about a few that have been settled by numerous people. And this is why anytime somebody starts talking shit to me, I just drop a little bit of nugget because I know a little bit more. Have we heard from ATL Jacob since he got online with me? Have we? Chad, let me tell you this. I'm the keeper of many secrets. They're all buried in my hard drive. Everybody, when they want to check, before they can't get it from the cops. So before they go get a lawyer, usually float it on to me. This is what happened. And before their lawsuit, because they all want to go viral, they all send it to me. I'm like, interested. I really don't give a fuck about publishing that because honestly, again, the reality of it is it just does way more harm than it does any type of good. Go sell it in court. Go figure it out in court. But I've received lawsuits on your favorite rapper, whoever that is. And I usually just chill with it. And I'm like, let's see how this turns out. Anyway, it appears that Jay Z has been named in this new lawsuit. I'm going to say allegedly for the next couple of statements I'm making because I want to be factually correct. First of all, foremost, I want to shout out to Jay Z's lawyers, Alex Spiro, and a team that represent whether it's Rock Nation or Jay Z's personal interests. I'm going to be very careful how I speak today because I do know y'all tactics as well. Y'all tactics, which by the way, y'all did with Milagro, is when people don't speak that favorable or attack, or you call attacking, clients or speak in certain light about whatever, lawsuits come. And it's going to be kind of ironic because y'all are now claiming someone's doing that to y'all, even though y'all sued somebody. It's all good. We'll get to it. So everything I'm going to say, I want to be within the area of not saying anything that I could be even legally liable, even remotely. Okay. All right. From my sources, I've heard, and that's why I said during this Rhapsody shit. So if you don't know, Rhapsody came out and she this is not even about her, right? But she dropped a freestyle and she was whatever. She says, "Yo, Ak, you have a case." All right. And then I Googled, she's at Rock Nation. And I really just think, I'm going to just be unequivocally just blunt and clear. If you're on Rock Nation, if you've worked with Diddy, if you party with Diddy, if you party with any of these niggas, you should be shutting the fuck up. I don't care if you were their friend or not, if you do business with them, if your check is signed by one of these guys. This is why I thank Kendrick, because I want to see who are the hypocrites. Because if you won't call one person out, you got to call them all out, right? If you're believing all these lawsuits. So from what I've heard, there's been a few been trying to get at Jay, and shout out to the NDAs, shouted their resolve. And by the way, we got a statement before I could even go live. I'm setting up the live stream. We like I got a heads up on when the lawsuit's dropping. I said, okay, or not dropping, but it was going to be updated in the system for Pacer. Okay. Before I could schedule the live, Rock Nation got a whole fucking response from. I've never seen something that quick. I like it. Anyway, so this is word on the street. So take this as just allegations. They've been trying to get Hov, this mystical figure that people keep hearing about. Jay Z is the guy. Okay, now it's nothing that is recent. We all know he's married to Beyonce, has beautiful kids. Like, that's all no. A lot of these things are like behavior from the past. This is the, big pimping era, all that type of stuff. And also, I think women, again, I don't know if anything is true or false, but people are realizing, hey, some of the activities back then could be misconstrued or could be seen in a different light now, especially if I have an allegation. And also look at the Cassie thing. So I've heard that there's been a lot of conversations with Rock Nation, or let's just say Jay Z, about women or people who allegedly have allegations. Now, it teeters and borders on the line of extortion, and I think I think now we could kind of unravel the knot. Like, again, we're gonna still say this. I gotta say this because I know Alex Spear is watching this. Like, I'm finna sweat. Relax, buddy. Okay, I think you're a cool guy. Don't hate me. I'm just here. Okay. I think we now could like put two and two together and kind of figure out that. Remember the lawyer Tony Busby? Remember him saying, yo, there's someone who is suing him for extortion, but the person was suing as a Jane Doe. We could now put two and two together to realize that person, we knew the law firm was a law firm with Alex Spiro as a partner, managing partner. Now we get to realize we get one of the first big celebrities named, right? And it's Jay Z. So we could probably think that Jay Z's suing this guy. Okay. Jay Z or Alex Spiro on behalf of Jay Z has been pretty active recently. Again, Alex Spiro, under the direction of Meg Thee Stallion, has filed a lawsuit against Milagro. Alex Spiro represents Rock Nation or Jay Z's interest, and now they're suing a lawyer who has levied, from my count, I think over 17 or 16 lawsuits against Diddy. In the majority of the lawsuits, they claim there were other people of interest, high-profile people that either watched, participated, or ignored. Whatever you want to go with, that's what you want to go with. Now, I'm going to also, this is where my opinion comes in. I've read a bunch of these lawsuits. They sound like bullshit. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, out of the 7, and I've read every single one on stream. Out of the 17, like, I'm going to be honest with you, maybe like 4, you could be like, maybe there's something that the others just sound ridiculous. Something out of like a movie, right? And again, I'm not trying to shit on nobody's claims, but come on, bro. Like, some of this shit just sounds like, it just sounds like, it's like, yeah, I was at making a band, and Diddy says, how bad do you want to be a star? And I said, really badly. He said, well, come with me in this room, Playboy. Then he whipped his dick out and told me I got to suck it. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on. Like, that's just so cliche. But whatever. Maybe it could be true. I don't know. Right? Now, we got the lawsuit here. And we're gonna recap it. And we're going to go through it. But I also do want to say this. And I like to put this out there because when we see a lot of things, it's very important for y'all to understand how media works. What Jay-Z's done that Sean Carter's, Jay-Z is Sean Carter, sorry. What Jay-Z's done that Diddy didn't do. Let me tell you the really big difference I've noticed between both guys is that Jay-Z has put so many people in positions of power and helped so many entities, and also made sure his interests are represented even throughout media, that there are levels of cushioning for any type of, let's say, bad press or stories that would make him look in a bad light. Diddy was just drinking Ciroc and trying to butt fuck niggas, allegedly. I don't know, right? But Diddy was just on some bullshit, like, come to the party, Playboy. Let's just do some free calls. He was just wilding. Jay Z is smart. And by the way, this is the first time everybody has wondered. We feel like we keep hearing about this mystical person. Is it Jay? We never heard till today. You know why? Put it like this. Half of the media personalities in the game right now, they're not touching this with a 20-foot pole. Remember, they were all hesitant to touch the Diddy stuff at first. Pause. But then eventually they did. They're not touching this one at all. Okay? That's going to show and go to the power of not only Jay Z, but Roc Nation. Their influence within the industry as it relates to being able to make and break rappers' career, help radio personalities or media personalities get to where they want to go, basically open and shut doors for people. And also, when you even go back, you're going to start to realize a lot of things kind of connect. Like, this is a personal opinion of mine when it came to the Tory Lanez situation. I'm not saying Tory did not do anything wrong, so I'm not here to absolve Tory Lanez. But I do believe at a point, because of how the case was going, I felt Roc Nation stepped in and said, we're sending this nigga to jail. This is my personal opinion. Roc Nation, as I'm saying, is a very powerful entity. Jay Z is a very powerful person. As we've discussed in many cases, none of this shit is like random. Made in America Festival stopped doing like 2 years ago. No more brunches. When you see people doing that, that's like the equivalent of Dirk hearing that there's a snitch and him saying, I'm Muslim now. I'm not BD. You get what I'm saying? Like, they know what's going to happen. So again, we're dealing with some powerful people. And again, I am not here to say I believe these allegations, but I just like to shine the light on the people in the media who are going to be quiet, the sheep-like fans who only believe that the people that they don't like are the bad guys. Because that's going to be the question, right? Like, Diddy was easy to be villainized. Jay Z is a little bit more up there. His cultural equity is, you can't quantify it. The way he's played the game versus Diddy's playing bingo and tic-tac-toe. And maybe like, what's that shit? Like freak off Twister. Jay Z's playing top tier chess. Always has, always been. It's a different level. So we're gonna see what ends up coming out of this, right? But also, this is gonna be a gut check time for hip hop in general, right? Because this idea of so and so has a weird case, so and so has a weird case. Well, you're gonna realize every rapper that's a millionaire or billionaire in an industry, and again, I'm not saying none of it's true. They're going to get some type of accusation of some sort. They're all fighting 55 lawsuits for different things. Tripped, I fell. Your security beat me up. You elbowed me, I fell. Like all type of shit. So it's up to y'all, but we'll go over it, and here we are. So today there was an amended complaint put in. This lawsuit was originally filed back in on October 21st, 2024. It was filed along 4 other lawsuits that day, and it was filed in the Southern District of New York. Okay. Now, before it listed a bunch of individual does, okay, because since that person's Jane Doe, they call the other unnamed people that they're suing individuals. Now they have named Jay Z and added on a few more companies of Sean Diddy Combs. which, by the way, I'm not gonna bore you by showing everything. They also they have also petitioned for Jay-Z to be served, and I'm pretty sure now this thing is public. His lawyers are gonna just take the service of this lawsuit and deal with it. Now, I want to before I get into it again. And by the way, this is his name here, so they just tacked on his name. Before I get into this, the reason why this whole thing with Jay-Z is a big deal is because Jay-Z is the closest as we could get in the black world to the Illuminati. And when I would say Illuminati, I'm saying it facetiously and using it as like it's like an analogy, like to whatever you think that higher power is, that like super untouchable like level. Jay-Z is the closest to it as we could get. You get what I'm saying? For example, who would be in that manner too? Lucian Grange. If we're talking about music, Lucian Grange, right? This is why people think, yo, Drake, you must be out of your damn mind suing UMJ. Like, that's Daddy Lucian. Oh, y'all call him Daddy. He's the head of the head. Pause. But Jimmy Iovine was accused and sued of some of the same things. It's been damn near scrubbed from the internet. You can't even find it. The case got wiped away. You're never going to hear nothing more about it. Dealt with it really quickly and swiftly. But that's what, when you get to that level, does. Now, when you at the Diddy level, yeah, I'm rich as fuck, but I'm arrogant. And I think just having cash is the power. You know, Jay is moving among a lot of different people that his power is just way more, right? So that's what I'm saying. We have Diddy here. I put Jay right here. Like, he's really of the untouchable ilk. Like how we see Lucian. You know, by the way, there was Lucian Grange was named in one of Diddy's lawsuit, not as a perpetrator, but he was named as a party. Not only him being the UMG's leader, but there was an allegation that he attended one of the parties that later on the freak off got happened at. And so they were accusing UMG of sponsoring the party, and they said the head of UMG, Lucian Grange, went there. Universal lawyers don't fuck around so much, and that's what I'm saying. That's if there would be Illuminati, that's what it would be. The fucking lawyer who filed it had to apologize for filing for including Lucian Grange's name in there, remove his name completely, and actually retract everything they said about him. Okay, never seen that shit before. That's what I'm talking about in terms of power. And I do think Jay is near that. I don't think he's exactly there, but the closest a black man gonna get to, if you ask me. Anyway, let's get into the lawsuit. So this is a lawsuit that deals with a 13-year-old being drugged at an after party. We've read this before. They put a few more details and they name more names, but I'll read it in full that you guys could hopefully get the gist. So it says, defendant Sean Combs, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Diddy, a.k.a. Love, alongside his longtime friend and collaborator, Sean Carter, a.k.a. Jay Z, drugged and raped a 13-year-old girl at an after party following the 2000 Video Music Awards. Another celebrity stood by and watched as Combs and Carter took turns assaulting the minor. Now, this is interesting. When I first heard about this lawsuit, before I pulled it back up, I actually thought that they were going to name Jay Z as the person who watched. I didn't know that they're naming Jay Z as the person who actually did the sexual act. Now, why is that important? Because the mere fact that they're saying another celebrity stood by and watched, that person is a witness, right? So who is that person? That person, through discovery, whatever, has to get named. And it's going to be interesting where that person lies. Does that person say, yeah, I watched Diddy and Jay Z fuck this girl? Now, what's irrefutable is this. If that person says, yes, I watched Diddy fuck this girl, we're going to hear later the girl alleged she was, and by the way, she's grown now, clearly, because this is in, was it 2000? So that's 24 years plus 13. She's 37. She's 37 right now. The woman now alleges that she was intoxicated or she was drugged or something. Now, that doesn't matter if someone says, like say the other celebrity says, nah, I seen you suck both of them off. You were not drunk or you were sober. The problem here is the girl is 13. It doesn't matter if she's drunk in any type of state of mind. That's a child, right? So if they had sex with this 13-year-old at all, that's a huge problem, right? Whether, and by the way, most of these lawsuits, we've read all of them, they have a pattern of saying, hey, we show up to the event, we get a cup, we take a sip. We usually know it takes like three drinks for us to start feeling away, but all of a sudden we start feeling dizzy, woozy, and we wake up and our pussy hurt, right? Or butthole if you're talking about the dude, right? But it don't really matter about the drugging if that's what they're going to allege, which they do. If this person is 13 and has sex with Jay Z or Diddy, that's a crime, right? Now, I know some of y'all, defenders or, other people who might be like, well, imagine if she lied about her age. That could be a thing too. That could be a thing. Like maybe she told somebody like, hey, no, I'm 17, or, well, that would be weird, fucking weird too. I'm 18. I'm 18. How old were these guys in let's see. How old was Diddy in 2000? If Diddy is 55 now, in 2000, come on, in the year 2000, in the year. Okay, so we just got to minus 24 years, right? So 24 years, he would have been 31, right? 31, because he's 55 now. He would have been 31. Okay? How old was Jay Z in 2000? Apparently, are they born the same year? Oh, they're born the same year. Okay. So they're both 31 at the time, right? Now, this is also the very interesting thing. And again, I'm not sitting here. I want people to know I don't have nothing against Jay Z. I think he don't got nothing against me. I'm not also making up excuses. I'm just trying to talk out scenarios. These things could be all the way true or all the way false. We don't know. That's why we're trying to think out loud. Could this be a 6ix9ine situation? Now, hold on. I know what you're saying. What the fuck are you talking about? Hold on. Now, 6ix9ine, who caught a charge of sexual misconduct or sexual conduct with a child or a minor or whatever, his story is this. Yo, we were inviting chicks over for like a music video and some other shit for TikToks, or no, it wasn't TikTok, it was Vine back then or something. This girl comes over. I think the girl was like 15 or something, but she supposedly told him that she was of age. So she tells him like, yo, I'm 18, right? So she tells him she's of age. Now, granted, I know what y'all saying, bruv. Like even this one is worse, right? Like if you're 31 and you can't tell a chick is 13, you're bugged the fuck out, right? This is I don't know how chicks was looking in the motherfucking 2000, but come on, ain't no goddamn way you 31 and you can't tell this chick is not even 15, right? But if you listen to the 6ix9ine story, that's what he claims. He's like, yeah, we didn't know. We didn't know that the woman was underage because she lied about her age, right? Now, I don't think it matters that much, but for some people in narrative sense, because you when you see these things, you're trying to think of these people. Were these guys really just attracted? Because it sounds wild. Like if you're attracted to a 13-year-old, that would be the definition as Kendrick. I think even Kendrick would define that as a certified pedophile, right? You know what I mean? The definition of being a pedophile is not just under 18. It's actually the attraction to prepubescent teens. You get what I'm saying? Right? I think I got my definition right. Definition of pedophile. Well, the simple one is the person who's attracted to children. When you get into a psychological way of how they look at it, they said that they actually call pedophilia a disorder, which I'm like, what? Okay. In which an adult experiences primary or exclusive sexual attraction to prepubescent children. Although girls typically begin the process of puberty at age 10, 11, and boys at 11 or 12. Psychiatric diagnostic criteria for pedophilia extends the cutoff point for prepubescence to age 13. Now, it's weird for me to even Google these things, trust me. But I'm just trying to just talk through this stuff with you. So technically, that would actually be a pedophile. You get what I'm saying? Say if there's a grown man who loves a 13-year-old, that would be the certified. Like, when I mean certified by the goddamn. Let's what it says certified by. This would be let's just click on it. Yeah, this is certified by the American Psychiatric Association. So that's what Kendrick was talking about. Certified pedophiles. That's certified. Okay. So liking a woman 13 or under. Now, even though I think we all agree, if you like a minor and you're a grown ass man, we almost call that pedophile too. We do. Right? Like, that's weird. That's just super weird. Cool. But the actual definition, just to be very factual, is 13 or under. And by the way, I keep having to say, because I know, we live in clip culture, so I can't just say it and just stop. Yes, if you're fucking a 14, 15, 16, 17, up until legal, you're weird, especially you're 30, right? Cool. All right. So the woman is 13, allegedly. Now, this is another thing. This is this guy, Tony Busby's job, and it's his due diligence that he has to take to file a lawsuit. They have to make sure the woman was actually 13 because they're alleging it here. They have to make sure she had some proof of even being at this event or being around this event. And by the way, the event is the 2000 Video Music Award. We've watched pieces of this, and I guess maybe we could corroborate some of the story. Did Jay Z go to the 2000 VMA Video Music Awards? Did he go there? Let's see. We got the here we go. So all of these are from this is from the 2000 VMAs. Okay? We see Dr. Dre. Let's see. Okay. Look like he got a nomination. Look, let's see. Here we go.
DMX.
What I'm doing.
Okay, what category is this? Oh, this is the nomination for Best Rap Video. And again, this is the MTV Video Music Awards in 2000.
Best Rap Video. DMX. Party Up.
Rest in peace, X. Okay, we get it. Okay, Eminem, Dr. Dre, Eve, Love Is Blind. We don't want to get struck. Jay Z actually, again, this is the Big Pimpin' era. Jay Z actually gets nominated for Big Pimpin'. Okay.
Big Pimpin'.
Which, by the way, this is why, like, a lot of these lawsuits, if you're a fan of hip hop, which obviously I am, you understand different eras are different, but like we're now in the, as Kendrick is gonna call it, the weird case era. So like everything looks horrible. Like, for example, if you pull up Big Pimpin' lyrics, like you know how people will just judge you off of one action and just claim you're guilty for something else. Well, if we go by this is why I'm streaming on Twitter, because this is how Twitter thinks, right? Fuck what was being alleged, and let's look at that. They'll be like, wait, so you're telling me back in 2000, Jay Z rap, I thug him, fuck him, love him, leave him because I don't fucking need him. Take him out the hood, keep him looking good. But like, they'll read this, they'll read all of this and be like, oh, this thing is guilty. Now, obviously, I'm not doing that because I think that's wrong, but that's how, and this is why I'm streaming on Twitter, because you got to hold the mirror up at Twitter. Like, these Twitter motherfuckers, this is all they do. Like, they're all soapbox warriors. that forgot where rap was coming from. I see everybody's championing Kendrick with this new weird case era shit when half of these niggas slap their hoe, half of these niggas cheat on their wife, half of these niggas you know, have ran trains on groupies. Like you know, I don't want to do no Hannibal Burrs here because I have specific examples. But anyway, and also half of them have, you know, women saying A, B, C, or D about them. That's just the reality of it. You know what I mean? Okay, many chicks want to put Jigga fist in the cuffs, divorce him, split his bucks just because you got good head. I'm gonna make bread so you can be living it up. Shit. Okay. Yeah, this was before Jay Z found out on Beyonce. I'm a pimp in every sense of the word, bitch. Better trust and believe him. In the cut where I keep him till I need a nut, till I need to beat the guts. Then it's beep beep, and I'm picking him up. You picking him up on preschool or not? Playing. Let me see. Let me stop. Okay. All right. So he was nominated. I'm trying to see if I could see a video of him being there.
MTV video.
Okay. Is there any video of Jay Z there? Lil' Kim was presenting some shit.
What did you think?
All right.
Okay. Let me just Jay Z. Aaliyah won. Ooh. Aaliyah and Beyonce. Look at this.
What's up? What's up?
Oh, Jay Z was having the time of his life. Holy Jigga. It's your boy, Ho. Nah, that nigga was having the time of his life. Yeah. Oh, God rest his dead, Aaliyah, man.
What are you looking forward to seeing?
Okay. All right. I can't find a video of Jay being there. So, you know, we like to fact check things as we're reading it. But if y'all have a video of Jay being there, y'all can let me know. But let's just keep it going. Okay. So apparently this was a after party following this music video award show in 2000. So they're saying another celebrity stood by and watched as Combs and Carter took turns assaulting a minor. Many others were present at the after party, but did nothing to stop the assault. Combs has been allowed for years to conduct himself in this manner without any consequences. He believes he's above the law. He is not. His close friend, Sean Carter, has been with Combs during many such instances described herein. Both perpetrators must face justice. For decades, defendant Combs abused, molested, raped, assaulted, threatened, and coerced women, minors, and others for sexual gratification. To assert dominance and conceal his abhorrent conduct. He accomplished these acts by and through a criminal enterprise built on his success as a rapper, record producer, and record executive. Combs is one of the wealthiest musical artists of the world, behind the facade of a 3-time Grammy Award winner and discovering and developing multiple famous music acts and ranking on Forbes' list of highest paid entertainers in the world. There existed something sinister, a dark underbelly of crime, sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, bribery, and prostitution. Combs is a menace to society, women, and children. While his wealth has kept him above the consequences for years, Combs now faces the awesome power of the American judicial system and ultimately a jury of his own peers who will be asked to punish him for his deplorable conduct described herein. Now, a lot of this is about Diddy. I know y'all want to get this shit about Sean Carter, right? Okay, so Combs. All right, so this is about Diddy. This is about Diddy. Members and associates of Combs' business engaged in or attempted to, sex trafficking. They're kind of whatever. Then they're talking about his pervasive history of sexual assault and violence. Okay. This might be important to y'all. Let's read this. So for years, Combs and his businesses engaged in a persistent and pervasive pattern of abuse toward women, men, and minors. The abuse was at times verbal, emotional, physical, and sexual. As part of his pattern of abuse, Combs manipulated both men and women to participate in a highly orchestrated performances. Wait, to participate in highly orchestrated performances of sexual activity with both commercial sex workers and unsuspecting partygoers. Combs ensured participation from these individuals by, among other things, obtaining and distributing narcotics to them with or without their knowledge, controlling their careers, leveraging his financial support, or threatening to cut off the same, and using intimidation, violence, and illicit drugs. Combs particularly fancied the use of the popular date rape drug, Rufinol, or GHB, to commit the heinous, non consensual acts of violence and rape onto countless victims. He would often secretly use the drug in an alcohol beverage served at his parties. Partygoers were forced to consume the alcohol beverage containing GHB, either prior to or entering while at Combs' party. There's also an allegation of Combs dousing victims in lotion, similar to body oils. Damn. Laced with GHB, so that the drug could be absorbed through the victim's skin and make it easier for him to assault him or her. Further, it's well known that Combs had a practice of lacing water bottles, oh my God, the water, with other substances such as Xanax and distribute them at his parties. His recurrent and pervasive physical abuse took place for multiple decades. His tendencies of violence and sexual assault were well known amongst his colleagues, his employees, agents, and businesses. On numerous occasions, from at least around 1996 and continued for years, Combs assaulted women and men by striking, punching, dragging, throwing objects at them, kicking. And he also assaulted children, both physically and sexually. 1996, he was found guilty of, okay, we don't have to go down his past. Then they talk about the other lawsuits he got. Okay, cool. And then let's get to okay. Now let's get to Sean Carter. Defendant Carter, aka Jay Z, is like Diddy. A wildly successful rapper and businessman, Carter and Combs have a long history together. Carter met and began collaborating musically with Combs in the 90s. Combs and Carter rose together to the very top of the hip hop industry in terms of fame and influence by the end of that decade. Combs and Carter were not only simply occasional collaborators in the music industry. The two men developed a close friendship that has been well documented from the late 90s to the present. Together, they attended countless music industry events for each other's businesses and ventures, parties and after parties. Indeed, the two are apparently so close that Combs stated in 2023 that Jay Z is the only person other than Diddy's own mother who's allowed to call him by his legal first name of Sean. In 2000, near the height of their fame, power, and influence, Combs and Carter attended the 2000 Video Music Award in New York City. Afterwards, Combs hosted an after party for many of the most famous celebrities in music and entertainment industries, including Carter, KJZ, which is where the events, a legend is complained, occurred. So here are the allegations. Plaintiff is going to be unnamed, okay? They're going to go by Jane Doe, and they reside in Alabama currently. Defendant Sean Combs is a male who, on information and belief, resides in New York City through incarceration in the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. On information and belief that all relevant times, Combs owned and or controlled Bad Boy Entertainment Holdings and all these companies. Cool. The facts of Combs' ownership and titles of Combs' corporations enabled and conspired with him to commit the unlawful sexual violence against the plaintiff described herein. Defendant Diddy. Okay, so they're just talking about the parties here. We want to get to more of the interesting stuff. It's going to be about Sean Carter. This is about Diddy, about Diddy, about Diddy, about Diddy, about Diddy. Now, defendants. Okay. So it's organizational dose and individual dose. And then now we're back at Sean Carter. Defendant Sean Carter is a male who, on information and belief, maintains his residence in both New York and Los Angeles. He's more commonly known by the industry named Jay Z. Carter was identified in plaintiff's original complaint as Celebrity A. Prior to the filing of this amended complaint, Carter has received a letter from the plaintiff's counsel requesting a mediation to resolve the matter, aka Jay Z, pay the fuck up or we finna put your name in, okay? Upon present information and belief, Jay Z responded to said letter by not only filing a utterly frivolous lawsuit, so now we could confirm what I said before. Jay Z is the person who initiated that lawsuit of extortion against Tony Busby. It's clear now. So not only filing a utterly frivolous lawsuit, but also orchestrating a conspiracy of harassment, bullying, and intimidation against plaintiffs' lawyers, their families, employees, and former associates in an attempt to silence plaintiff from naming Jay Z herein. This effort was meant to scare the plaintiff and discredit her counsel. The effort failed. Indeed, the plaintiff chose to file his amended complaint as a result of the egregious conduct perpetrated by Carter. Each of Combs Corporation aided and embedded Combs in committing the unlawful sexual violence against the plaintiff. Our alter egos of Combs, completely dominated by him and used by him for his personal interests, to engage in wrongdoing which later harmed plaintiff and others, and served have served as vehicles for Combs to move and dispose or insulate his assets, including in connection with his criminal activities, and to avoid compensating victims of his many crimes, including plaintiff. Okay. Then they basically say they're going for over $75,000. They don't have to list how much they're going to sue for. They're leaving that up to the judge, or they could later put in a request. All right, and then on a jury case, we get that. So here's the factual allegations. On around September 7, 2000, a plaintiff who was then 13 had a friend drive and drop her off near Radio City Music Hall. Now, is anyone here of age? And obviously of age, but like, does anybody remember like being into music back in 2000 or back when VMAs used to be popping? Like, I feel like these days BET Awards happen and nobody really talks about it. Back then, the MTV Music Awards were the biggest thing possible. Now, I personally think it's weird if a kid is showing up, but it felt like some of these award shows, they had like little kid fans of these artists there. Like, oh my God, Beyonce, oh my God. Like, I felt like that was a thing, but I would still imagine that your parent is bringing you. I don't think you're just showing up by yourself. So that's a little sketchy to me, but it is what it is. So this 13-year-old shows up and her friend dropped her off near Radio City Music Hall and that she could try to attend the VMAs. Now, also interesting, she doesn't have a ticket. Attending the VMAs was on the plaintiff's bucket list. Well, that's also a little bit odd because you're 13. You don't have a bucket list. Your life is just beginning. Whatever, though. And she believed she could gain entry. The plaintiff arrived at the venue and saw large crowds gathering as artists and entertainers began arriving. Plaintiff was very excited. As the event began, much of the crowd moved inside with the plaintiff without a ticket, as I said, remained outside with others and watched the VMAs on a jumbotron. Chat. So that's what I'm asking if that's weird. Does that sound odd that maybe a young child or, I'm guessing maybe there wasn't much parental supervision, but did people show up to these award shows and it's kind of like, I just want to see a celebrity? These days, I feel like people are numb to celebrities to a certain extent because of social media. Like, if you like Usher, you could just DM him. If you like Chris Brown, Drake, you could DM them. Back then, the only way to see these people was probably to show up to some of these things. So I don't know if maybe it's just my mind now saying, oh, that's kind of odd. Or maybe that was what people did then. What do y'all think? Let me pull up the chat here for King Akademiks. How y'all doing over there? Damn, we got a packed house up in this bitch. 20,000 watching on King Akademiks. Then got like 250,000 views on X. Interesting. Okay,